But this isn't the reality because our main character, Tendo, was watching this on TV. He thought that a zombie attack was better than my life. His eyes were sleepy and suddenly he fell and slept. Tendo's story begins 3 years ago when his boss introduced him to his colleagues in the office. This was his first day. He was so excited to work there because of the friendly environment there. His boss showed him his seat and introduced him to his manager. Suddenly he collides with a girl named Otori. He falls in love at first sight because she is stunning. She introduced herself and talked politely. After saying good luck on the first day, she moved on. At night all the colleagues went to a bar where they all enjoyed and talked with each other. When Tendo saw Otori, he got shy. Time passed and after dinner, everyone stood up and again went back to the office. Tendo was shocked and disturbed. He slept there and didn't go to his home back. Day after day passed and he wasn't able to back home. After 2 days he went home. He was so tired. When he woke up he was still deprived of sleep. He didn't want to go to work, but he encouraged himself and got ready for work. Things were again the same, but this time his manager Gonzo shouted at him. Everybody there was no less than undead people. They were all angry, but Otori was the same, polite and gentle. But Otori was his boss's mistress, who makes him happy when he calls her. At night he was walking like a zombie. He was thinking about why he was still working there, because he didn't have the time to search for a new job at day and night. 3 years have passed of him working there. He was totally depressed, frustrated, and exhausted. He wasn't able to find out what he was doing or thinking because of the tough working hours. His life was all black and white. His room was all dirty. One morning when he woke up and got ready for work, he left his home and saw a paper at the door, which was the parking bill. When he went to the manager for payment, he saw the door was open and he was eating his wife. Suddenly he was able to see some of the colors. He was running from the zombies. But there were zombies all around. He ran here and there to save his life, and on the roof, he saw the city was all destroyed. He suddenly understood that from now on he wouldn't go to work. He was free now. And suddenly his world was full of colors, hope, and joy. He had no concern with the world or with the destruction. He was free to enjoy himself. He was lying down and was thinking about what to do now. He thought he might go to get a bike license or drink all day and stuff like that. Suddenly he thought of Otori and decided to check on her and confess his love. He started moving on a bike irrespective of the world, things happening all around. He arrived there and was a little nervous, but he told himself that it was a time of emergency and I was there for her safety check. When he rang, the door was open. He went in, and he saw the shoes of his boss who was standing in front of him. He has turned into a zombie already, but Tendo was thinking about the hard time he has to go through because of him. Suddenly he ran and threw him out of the window. When he saw Otori he was shocked, because she was also turning into a zombie. They were both in front of each other. He confessed his love and thought about her beauty. She tried to come close, but he started running away from her and left. At night he went to a grocery shop, drank, and started thinking about what the next. He thought that we could die now, or could die after 60 years, but there isn't enough time to do all the things we want to do. So he went into the shop, took a pencil and a book and titled it with the 100 things he wanted to do. Gonzo was shouting, Tendo was in his office and it was terrible. He suddenly woke up and it was just a nightmare. He went to the balcony and started cleaning his room. Everything was shining and Tendo was feeling so happy. He took a beer from the fridge and started enjoying it. He felt so pure after drinking beer, but the world was facing great destruction. When he again tried to get a drink, the fridge was empty. There was nothing for him to drink. He felt so depressed, and when he thought to get some from the grocery he saw a lot of zombies outside. But for the sake of beer, he can't sit silently, so he decided to go out. When he was descending the building, he met with Kosaka and his wife. They were shocked to see him. He asked if they wanted something from the grocery, they told him some things and he said goodbye to them. He was on his bike and all the zombies started following him, but for beer, he raced it up and went to a grocery shop. But a camera was watching him. When he went in there was a girl named Shizuka. When he saw her he went silent and shocked because she was cute. He said hello to her and tried to talk with her, but she wasn't answering. She was about to leave and he asked for her contact, but she was still silent. And she said, "Are you serious? You have risked your life for just these drinks?" She said, "I am not an idiot to team with a person who can't analyze fear or risk," and suddenly zombies started entering the shop. They were about to attack her, but he stepped in front, and suddenly she flipped him. Because a truck was about to hit him, they were in a cute romantic pose. Suddenly she stood up and left, and when he came to sense, he tried to stop her, but she left with his bike. He was happy that they met and she was very pretty though. Suddenly a zombie appeared. He saw a scooter and took it while going. He thought that there must be something better than this also. He saw a heavy bike and took this, and he was feeling like out of the world. When he tried to give Mr. and Mrs. Kosaka their things he saw they were dead. At night he drinks a lot, and he thinks life is too short to take risks, so he starts writing his wishes on a notebook. The wishes he has completed he lined up and wrote what he wanted to do next. He wanted to meet with his parents and spend time with them. He wrote it also. He had written about 33 wishes in his 100 wish list book. On the other side, Shizuka woke up on her own time and did her workout. On TV the situation in the city was showing and she ate her multivitamins and tried to call someone, but no one was responding. After that, she started writing things in the wish list of 100 things to do to avoid becoming a zombie. Then she started noticing the zombies and wrote down the observations she made. She took her bike and went out. To the grocery shop she saw a cake but didn't pick it, and suddenly Tendo came in and she saw zombies coming after him on her phone. She was thinking about how someone like him had survived, and she was seeing everything happening on her phone. Then everything happened, and she left silently with the thoughts that she had secured everything like food, fuel, water, etc. At home she was looking at her recordings and saw Tendo, who was very happy after getting beer. And she thought that she also might grab the cake for her. On the other side, a little girl was crying and a boy named Sho told her not to worry because he was always with her. His staff told him something and he asked the little one that he had to go now. She got sad, but he promised her that he'd come back. Sho came out and started fighting with the zombies. Tendo was in the washroom and was thinking that now he could grow a beard, but it looked terrible on him. When he came out from the washroom he saw his phone was notifying him. And when he checked internet was running now. He started using the phone and then doing nonsense stuff but got bored. He went to the balcony and started thinking what to do. Suddenly he remembered about his friend Kensho. On the other side, Kensho was locked in a room with a zombie. He was very afraid because he couldn't go outside. Water in the room was also finished. He was so exhausted. Suddenly he remembered Tendo, his laugh, and his smiley face. Suddenly his phone rang, and it was Tendo's call. Tendo asked him where he was exactly. Kensho told him that there were a lot of zombies, but Tendo said it's not to worry, I'll manage it, and hang up. Tendo stepped out on a heavy bike and remembered about their sweet past and their last meeting or fight. They fought with each other about their jobs, because Kensho told him that his job was going very well but Tendo's job was not so good. All the zombies were coming towards Sho. They were about to touch him, but suddenly there was a great noise from siren. All the zombies started moving towards the noise, and this was Tendo's doing. Kensho went out of the room and was afraid. Suddenly Tendo tried to touch him and he got scared. Kensho was shocked and Tendo started crying and saying, "You were right, that I should have quit my job because it was useless, but instead of listening to you I started to fight and ruined our friendship. Because I was jealous," he started apologizing to Kensho. Kensho was about to say something but suddenly zombies attacked them and they started running. They were on the roof, but the zombies were out of control. Kensho was so scared and hopeless. He asked Tendo what to do next, and Tendo told him that we'll jump now. He stepped back and then ran, and jumped like a free bird. Tendo told him to jump too, but Kensho was shocked. He tried, but he couldn't jump. He said that he couldn't jump, and he confessed that his job wasn't good at all. Every day he was supposed to defy people with a smiley face, which was not his type, but to manage his reputation he showed himself as a perfect one to others. But this doesn't make him happy at all. Tendo was shocked and Kensho was frustrated. He apologized to Tendo, and Tendo encouraged him. Kensho told him that he wanted to be a stand-up comedian, and Tendo said, if that is the case, then jump, which will make me laugh. He did it by removing his clothes and was about to fall, but Tendo helped him and saved Kensho. They spent the night together there. They talked, laughed, and slept there. Now Tendo was playing a video game and Kensho was making food for them. Tendo marked the wish he had completed and Kensho served him the meal. When he ate the food, this was amazing. He complimented Kensho's cooking. Kensho said, I know many of man don't know how to cook, and maybe this was the reason you didn't get a date. Tendo got angry and said, I'll get one very soon, like today. But Kensho showed him that there are a lot of zombies out there. Now Kensho was reading Tendo's wish list and Tendo was playing a video game. Kensho wrote his wish to be a stand-up comedian in Tendo's notebook because he said, if I'll die then you are supposed to complete my wishes too. Now Tendo asked to go out and get a big TV screen. They went out on a bike and Tendo asked Kensho why he wanted to be a comedian. Kensho told him that when he was a child he used to watch comedy shows and since then he has wished to be a comedian. Suddenly Tendo tried to think what was his childhood wishes and they stopped. Because the route was blocked and a truck was coming from behind, Tendo saw there was only one way to get out of there. He set his mind. Kensho was worried but Tendo's idea, but Tendo did it. There was a great blast when they went into the tunnel. They again stopped because there were zombies. But they ran into a shop. There were other survivors also, 3 girls and a man. They all were disappointed, but to reduce tension they started collecting food and booze. They sat and started talking with each other. Tendo and Kensho thought that it was their wish to drink and eat with girls like a mixer party. They started introducing each other. The girls' names were Reika, Maki, and Yukari. While talking they came to know that the girls were flight attendants. They were shocked and amazed that their wish to win and dine with fighters was now complete. But Tendo was worried about what to do now because he wanted to flirt with one of these girls. So he went to Yukari and asked if she had a boyfriend. She was not interested and was worried about the situation, so she replied to him coldly. He got worried about how to impress a girl when he thought about Kensho and saw him he was already flirting with Maki. He got more depressed, and then he decided to do whatever it took to impress a girl. He said he'd snort the tequila in one go without thinking what would happen afterward. Everyone cheered after seeing him, and Kensho started his comedy, but Tendo got faint. Now in the washroom, he was vomiting. Suddenly Yukari came and started rubbing his back. Tendo was lusted again. On the other side, that man was beaten by a zombie and started turning into a zombie. He attacked Reika. She was shocked. Kensho was enjoying himself with Maki and they heard a scream. Tendo asked Yukari why she was so concerned with him. She replied that she really admired his tequila snort. Because everybody enjoyed it and their mood also got changed after that. He was really happy when he heard about her. Kensho and Maki went for Reika. When they saw her, she was changed into a zombie and she attacked Maki. Now she was about to attack Kensho, but he hit her hard and saved himself. While Tendo and Yukira were sitting together, she told him that she knew how it felt to work like a machine because she was also depressed about her job. But she really likes to go through this torture daily. He also told her that he wasn't enjoying his job at all because this must not be his dream. He asked her the reason why she joined the flight attendant career. She was about to tell him the reason. But suddenly the zombie came and attacked her. Tendo tried to save her, but she was already beaten by a zombie. He told her that he'd save her, and she told him that when she was rubbing his back she was remembering her first flight as a child. A flight attendant rubbed her back, and that was the reason for her to select that career. Because she wanted to be kind like her, and today she has completed her wish to rub someone's back. She suddenly pushed him and the zombie again attacked her, and she said her last goodbye to Tendo and he was very sad. Now Tendo ran to Kensho crying. Kensho showed him a big screen that he had found and they left that place. Now they had completed some of their wishes. Tendo was playing the game again and Kensho was cooking, but Tendo was a little serious this time. Because he thinks that people want to do what they have dreamed of in childhood, he wrote his next wish to remember about his childhood dreams. Now Tendo had a dream about his childhood where he saved his friend from some bad people. In his childhood, he wanted to be a superhero who would save the poor from evil. Now he woke up and saw the sunshine. Kensho was scrolling social media about the news of zombies. Tendo was playing a video game and Kensho told him that some of the villages had been rescued on time. Tendo thought and said maybe my parents are safe because they live in a village far from the city. Now Kensho dyed his hair for his dream completion, and Tendo thought everybody was working on their dreams. So he told him that he wanted to be a superhero, and he also told him about his childhood dreams of becoming a superhero. He showed him his drawing of his dream superhero costume and also showed him his research on his superhero fight against zombies. They were in front of the aquarium. They went in and started looking for something. Suddenly they found for what they were looking. On a bus, there were passengers scared of zombies, and 2 of them started converting into zombies. The passengers ran out of the bus, and some of them were attacked by zombies, but some didn't want to die. So, they really ran very fast. A girl was running towards the aquarium and suddenly she fell down. She was afraid of dying, but Tendo came there and saved her. He went to the aquarium for the swimming suit because it was made with iron chains and zombies' bite wouldn't affect the person wearing it. Tendo showed all the people a way to the aquarium and Shizuka was also in them. They both were looking at each other. Suddenly zombies attacked Tendo and he started fighting with them. Their bites didn't affect him very much, but it hurt because the suit was only resisting the teeth, but not the force of teeth. Kensho, instead of helping him, closed the doors. Now, Tendo has come back from the fight and he was a little tired. But when he saw Shizuka he was energized. He went close to her and tried to talk. But she replied to him coldly because she said you are not aware of the risk here and I am not gonna involve with a person who is not serious about anything. She also criticized his hero costume and said hero isn't a title that anybody can entitle to. Kensho was also disturbed after listening to her. Suddenly they heard a noise and when they checked there were leakage and a zombie shark appeared, with legs like humans. Everybody started running due to fear. Tendo was also running because he was scared. They came to a blind end because there were zombies. Shizuka showed them the exit and they started running, but while helping a girl Shizuka was left there. When Tendo saw Shizuka wasn't there and Shizuka was in danger because the shark was about to attack her. But suddenly Tendo came and started fighting with the shark. Shizuka was shocked that he really came to help her. She asked him if he had a plan to fight, but he said he didn't know what to do next. They started running and Kensho was looking at them. Shizuka suggested a plan. Kensho was ashamed because he didn't help his friend even once. Tendo started diverting the shark's attention. Shizuka was looking for batteries to attack on shark's sensitive part. Tendo was on the ground, but suddenly Kensho started diverting the shark's attention with his sexy body. Tendo stood up and Shizuka threw the batteries toward him. He caught them and attacked on shark. Finally, they have won the fight with the shark. They were walking with Shizuka and they asked her what she wanted to do now. She saw Tendo's diary and said I wish to avoid becoming a zombie but you want to complete your wishes before becoming a zombie. Our ways are entirely different, but Tendo told her that she is special to him and she got shy and started walking fast. They were on their bike and Shizuka said I forgot. She gave Tendo her contact. Tendo was very happy when she gave him her contact eyed. They went to the luxury shops and started trying expensive watches and neckpieces and started clicking selfies. At night Tendo saw they were out of water and Kensho told him that electricity was also getting out. Tendo was worried about what to do now. He saw the sky and told Kensho to have a look too. The sky was full of shining stars and this was a beautiful scene. Tendo remembered his childhood and said we'll go to my hometown. The next day they packed their stuff and went out. Tendo thought that they needed an RV to travel free from zombies. When they went to the showroom they again met with Shizuka. When they asked to work like a team she again refused and Kensho asked her if she had a license. She didn't have one, so they went in and Kensho and Tendo were amazed after seeing a lot of RVs there. Shizuka was thinking about the most suitable RV but Tendo and Kensho were looking for the expensive one. They had a little fight about it but when Shizuka saw an RV she was also surprised and amazed. Suddenly zombies arrived and they took an RV to run. Kensho was on a bike and Tendo and Shizuka were in the RV. Shizuka told him that an attack from zombies is just like a virus and scientists will definitely find a solution against it. Tendo and Kensho were talking and suddenly they went out of balance because on the road there was a spike strip. Suddenly someone appeared in Gonzo. Tendo's chief was also with the people on one. Tendo was shocked and frustrated because of his past memories. He was again horrified. When Gonzo talked with him, he wasn't able to answer him. Gonzo told him that he'll not be able to go any further with his current situation because we have all the things he needs. Why not you and your friends will sit with us? Tendo was happy, but suddenly he said, in return you have to work for me again. Tendo was shocked because of his past experience, but he was out of choice. So he said yes to him without any heart. When he went in, he saw everyone was working like a machine and they were all tired. Tendo was also scared. Kencho's condition was also serious. Kencho and Shizuka were afraid of when will this nightmare would end. Tendo was working, but suddenly he got a thought and started putting beer in the fridge. Gonzo came and he tried to stop him, but when his team came, he said he told Tendo to put beer in the fridge for them. Tendo was shocked because Gonzo was using zombies like pieces of equipment for his work. Gonzo also told him that he is not more than a piece of equipment for him. Tendo was frustrated, shocked, and terrified. Kencho and Shizuka were concerned with Tendo's condition because Shizuka remembered something and said that fear never fades out from one's mind because it stays in the heart. Now Shizuka was thinking about her past and father, but everyone was enjoying the party and Gonzo was the planner of this party. He was also having fun, and our man, Tendo, was exhausted, and he was serving them with beers. He was tired. But Gonzo was shouting at him and forcing him to do more and more. An old lady tried to serve Gonzo, but he yelled at her and asked Shizuka. She had no choice, so she served him, and he was peeking at her with bad eyes, although she was with a good figure and Gonzo asked her to drink too. She wanted to survive, so drank the beer. Now Gonzo summoned Tendo and yelled at him and she was disturbed. She remembered her past and how her father manipulated her to survive, and he was only concerned about his money. She wanted to pet a dog, but her father was against it, so she hid it in her room. She loved it and treated it because she wanted to be a doctor, and the dog was cured now. But one day her father took it and told her if she did something like that again then he would throw her away like a dog, and she cried, frustrated, but managed to live like a robot, and suddenly she came to reality. Gonzo was yelling at our man and Tendo was lost again in his stress and frustration because his past was dark. Suddenly Gonzo changed his tone and started talking politely. He was brainwashing our man. Tendo was frustrated now and Shizuka was watching this all. She remembered that her father was also the same and he also told her to do whatever he told her. Now she was in the RV and suddenly found our man's wish list and she was surprised to see it. She was happy to read it and wrote one of her wishes, and by chance, a zombie was packed into the truck with some tissue papers. Now it was the day to leave this stupid place and Kencho and Shizuka were ready, but our man was lost and he refused to leave. But Kencho tried to wake him up but was wasted. Shizuka had no concern with that and asked Kencho to leave, but Kencho was still pushing her. She suddenly stopped and remembered her past. She yelled and started telling the facts to Tendo. She said she believed that Tendo was different. She believed in him and wanted to do something extraordinary. She told him that Gonzo was using them as robots and it was rubbish. She also showed him the notebook and Gonzo snatched it and tried to step on it, but suddenly our man woke up and he remembered everything, and he was filled with excitement again and stopped him. Gonzo was shocked, but our man was in his senses now, so he refused to do any more work and asked for his leave. Gonzo was shocked and suddenly the truck opened, and the zombie attacked. The situation got swear and everyone panicked. Our man, Kencho and Shizuka jumped on the trucks and Gonzo was running from zombies. Tendo was looking around and was shocked, but suddenly he came up with an idea. He asked Gonzo's team if they would help him and they said yes. Gonzo was about to be attacked but suddenly Tendo saved him. Gonzo was sad because Tendo had helped him and now Tendo killed the zombies and took him to the roof of the truck. Now everyone worked on his plan and the 4 trucks joined together. The zombies were inside, everyone was shocked, and our man asked Gonzo to jump now and Tendo burned the zombies with a heroic move. Kencho was happy for his friend and Shizuka also came. Our man went to her, and she also said Tendo was like that and they laughed. Gonzo still tried to manipulate but everyone refused to work for him, and he was helpless. They left him, and he started crying. Now our crew was going, and the sweeties were talking. Tendo was ashamed because he had always chosen the wrong job for himself. He wasn't sure if he would get a good job one day, but Shizuka told him that he could, one day. Now they had stopped and were doing yoga because it was Tendo's wish and now it was completed. They started the journey again and Tendo was sure that his wishes would be completed soon. They were 1 hour to their destination and suddenly they saw a truck. They found a survivor. Tendo started preparing for help and went out. Suddenly a samurai went out of the truck and they were shocked. He started killing the zombies with his sword and our crew was shocked. When he killed all the zombies and took off his mask, she was a girl. She introduced herself and her name was Beatrix. She was Russian. she told them that she liked Japan very much. Shizuka was playing with her mask and Tendo saw fish in her truck and she told them why she was there. This Russian girl wanted to transport the fish to the restaurant she wanted to eat sushi from, and the intelligent ones got shocked. But she said the chef was the last survivor, so she wanted to go to his restaurant and eat. Tendo agreed to help her, and it was stretching. Kensho and Shizuka were still in shock. Whatever, they started the journey and found zombies, and our heroes went out and started fighting. But Shizuka was no less, and she was thinking herself as a pro master and Kench was with her. On Shizuka's order, Kensho started attracting the zombies with his buddies and the heroes were still fighting. The master was enjoying the wind and now everyone asked if they were ready, and they started throwing the wine at zombies. But when the master ordered to burn the match wasn't working at all, the zombies were going away, and Tendo decided to fight, and he went to kill the zombies. Beatrix was sad and she started thinking about his earlier life. She was passionate about enjoying Japan's culture so also joined the killing ritual. Tendo was surprised but Russian didn't want to cry over sugar, so she also started killing the zombies. They were doing great together but suddenly they reached a blind end and was stressed. Suddenly a dragon came and all the zombies were attracted. Beatrix remembered that Shizuka bought the toys and now the zombies were going to the gas station. Our dashing master was watching this with Kensho and she ordered him to fire and he burned all the zombies. It was an amazing view, and everyone was happy. Now they went to the restaurant and the chef served them with sushi. Everyone was delighted because they had such a meal after a long time. Beatrix took her first ever bite of sushi and she started crying out of excitement. The chef served them wine too because they were the only customers he had in a long time. Now they were again going but because of summer, they were all sweaty. They went to a steam bath and were amazed to see it. The girls were also ready, and our men got lusty on them. Kensho and Beatrix started talking about the bath and she knew a lot about the history of steam baths and Kensho was amazed. Tendo and Shizuka were standing together, and he was sorry because it was a place to visit with loved ones. But Shizuka had to come with him, so he apologized but our girl was fine with our hero because she believed that dating anyone was a waste of time. Our men went to the pool and were enjoying. Shizuka said she'd also enjoy it in the girls section but Beatrix came and said it was filled with zombies and now our men got lusty. The girls had to bathe together, but Shizuka refused, and Beatrix started telling them about the history and said in the past ages men and women took baths together. Beatrix took off her clothes and was ready for the bath. Our men were excited but, in the meanwhile, the zombies appeared, and they had to run. They were running and climbing a mountain. They were crying about their bad luck and slept after a while. At night Tendo woke up and he was thirsty. Shizuka was nowhere. Suddenly he found a fountain and went in. He started enjoying himself and bumped into Shizuka. She was also there, shocked, and they moved apart. They yelled at each other and settled the matter by sitting. They started talking and she told him that she always lived a life her father made for her, but she always wanted a normal life. But it was impossible. She told him that if she was that open to him then he was a comfortable person for her. Suddenly she realized what she had said and denied taking any wrong flower out of it. Kensho and Beatrix also came, and they saw them. They were angry at them and were excited about the fall, and Beatrix again started her history knowledge and they jumped into the water. Back in the time, when Tendo was young he asked his father about going to the city for studies and a job. But his father tried to convince him to work in the fields because it was his own business and doing a job was disrespectful for him. But Tendo wanted to live in the city and left them. Now they were going, and everyone was excited to meet his parents, but Shizuka asked if Tendo was nervous. Our man was literally nervous about his meetup with his parents. Suddenly they saw the tunnel was blocked. They went out and saw it properly and the tunnel was filled with the zombies and Tendo was stressed. But Shizuka told him that he had to relax because if the villagers were zombies, then who locked the zombies into the tunnel and told them to walk through the jungle? Now they started walking and Shizuka was still cheering her man. Suddenly they heard a noise and were shocked. A man named Masaru was running from a zombie boar. They killed the boar and now they started walking with Masaru. He told them that he was living there, and when they saw the house Tendo was surprised. But no one was ready for Masaru to start telling them about his mastery over making houses, and Tendo was obsessed with that. Tendo asked if he could help him, and Uncle agreed. Shizuka had an issue but Tendo told her that it was his wish to build a treehouse, so they were in. The girls were chilling, and the men started their work. Tendo and Kensho were enjoying it and Masaru was telling them his experiences which he had learned throughout his life. Now Tendo was working, and he was thinking about everyone, and suddenly Masaru came. He asked about his family and Masaru told him that his wife became a zombie and she made their son too. So, he had to kill them both, and now he was making this house because his son always wanted a treehouse. Tendo told him that he was there so Masaru did not have to be worried about anything and they would help until end. Now they started working and had built a super duper treehouse. They enjoyed it and then were ready to leave. Masaru told them that he'd help them in need, and now the difficult path started, but our man was enjoying it because he was born there. All was done and everyone was exhausted, but Tendo was excited to reach the village and meet his parents. They reached the village and saw some ruined things. Tendo was stressed but started looking for his parents. When he opened the door, old men were dancing naked and Tendo summoned his parents, and they called his father. His dad turned and Tendo started crying and telling them that he had missed them, and he was thankful for their kindness and everything. His father stood up and came to him. He punched him and said why he suffered this long path just to say this rubbish, and everyone was shocked. He told him to show his friend the guest room and went out. Everyone was impressed by this uncle. Now his mother served them the food and they were delighted because it was delicious. Shizuka asked about the zombies and his mother told him that when some citizens came for shelter, the zombies attacked and that's why they locked the tunnel. Some were saved and now they were living with them in the village, and the villagers were used to it because they spent their winter just like that. Beatrix wanted to see around but Tendo wanted to pay off his parents, so they went out and enjoyed, but Tendo was at home. He tried to help his mother with all the stuff, but she told him that he had to take some rest because he was tired, and he lost again. He was sitting and his father asked if he could help him. He went out and now he tried to talk with his father but was useless. He was depressed. His father's hand was filled with blood and Tendo went to him. They started walking and he saw Kanta, but didn't recognize him. Kanta went to the zombies, and in the past his life was boring. He was useless in this world. One day he saw a zombie and ran out. The world was attacked by this zombie attack, and he was happy because according to him it was fair to the world. He found some persons like him and made a wish list to do before becoming a zombie. They all were rejected by society, so they had vicious wishes. Now it was time to complete these wishes. Subscribe to the channel for the last part.